Yeah, I decided I'd make a video about the free healthcare system in Canada for the poor. I guess it's for people who have money too, but I can only speak from the point of view of being poor. I'm so poor. There's an organization here in Ontario called the Guaranteed Annual Income System. I don't make enough money for them to give me money. That's how poor I am. But don't get me wrong, I'm retired. I make enough money on my pension to pay my rent, live, eat, buy toys. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't have a girlfriend. So that's why everything works out perfectly. So yeah, my own healthcare story is in 2001 I had a deep vein thrombosis, which is a blockage in my left leg. And I went to the hospital and they took me in the operating room, and I hadn't had any blood flow in my foot for like 18 hours or something like that. My foot was what they call dusky rose, and they had different surgeons come in with a Doppler machine to see if they could get a pulse, but there was none. So they brought me to the operating room and they rectified the problem, and I was in the hospital for about 10 days, I guess. And then in 2005 I had a stroke. So after the third seizure, I called 911. They came and picked me up. They took me to the hospital. I don't remember much of it. My friend Scott was there. He's the guy who's going to inherit all my stuff when I die. Poor man. I mean, as you've seen, or if you watch my first video about my hoarding illness, you'll see I have a lot of stuff. It's not newspapers or cats or anything. It's mostly technology. Like, I have at least 5 camcorders. I have probably 12 sets of Bluetooth headphones. I buy lots and lots of stuff. I have a brand new cell phone in a box, exactly the same as the one I have. So when it breaks, I have an exact replacement for it. Because I have this problem, and all of my needs are met, but it's my wants that keep me buying. So it's an interesting concept. I like the idea, you know. So getting back to 2005, I had a stroke. I was in the hospital for about 10 days. Again, there was no problem there. I've been in a car accident in New Brunswick, and as soon as they saw my OHIP card, which is like carte blanche, they took care of me, and everything was fine. I was in the hospital for 36 hours there. I had fractured ribs. Then next it was, I've been out in Alberta, and years ago when I was out there, all I had to do was show them my OHIP card. There was no problem. That's the most important thing to me, is I carry my OHIP card, my driver's license, my credit card, all of these things on me all the time. Because if anything happens, well, it's taken care of. So, yeah, about a couple of years ago, I had this, it's called an umbilical hernia. It has to be operated on, but I mean, it wasn't urgent. So I've been putting it off, because I said, oh, I'll probably lose weight, but that ain't gonna happen. So I thought, okay, we'll get it done. So I went and I spoke to a doctor there. It was a pre-op thing, and she said, do you have shortness of breath? And I said, why, yes, I do. So that set off a whole bunch of different tests. A nuclear scan, which took 4 hours in the hospital. They injected me twice with nuclear dye, had me go on a treadmill, and injected me with medication to see how they were stress testing my heart. All of this, my heart was of concern to her. They sent me for an ultrasound on my heart. I went for a breathing test. And the end result was, she said, your heart is in great shape, it's your lungs. 30 years of smoking dope, I have emphysema. I quit smoking dope in 1995, so from 1965 to 1995, I smoked a lot of dope. I quit smoking cigarettes in the 70s, early 70s probably, so it was all just smoking dope, and that's what caused this. I did a lot of LSD too, like hallucinogens were my drug of choice. But in 1995, I went into recovery, and I'm one happy motherfucker because I decided to change my mind. Once I changed my mind, my life changed. So But getting back to the healthcare system, last November I went in. I had blood in my urine, so I go to the hospital. They do a bunch of tests. About a week later, I go for a CAT scan. CAT scan, and then I have to go in for this scopy where they put a camera up my penis and look inside and check me out. And so when that was happening, the doctor said, "Oh yeah, the CAT scan said that you have kidney stones." So I have to get the kidney stones removed. But I'm also on Coumadin, so I was supposed to go in and get the kidney stones out on Monday, but I'll be getting them out later because I have to go to the thrombosis unit, and they have to figure out what they're going to do with the anticoagulant, if I'm going to go on the stuff called Fragmin, which I've been on before. Oh yeah, I had all my teeth removed in the hospital. That was free of charge. And I'm on medication because I'm an old man. I have all kinds of meds that I live on, and the government pays for those as well. So when I see what's going on in the States, I feel so bad for you people down there. I mean, it looks like your politicians don't give a fuck for the poor. Here they may not give a fuck for the poor, but in 1962, the premier of a province called Saskatchewan brought in health care for his province. At the time they called him a communist, but by the end of the decade, that Tommy Douglas created a universal health care for everybody in Canada. And that was in the 60s. And here we are coming up to the 2020s, and you people don't have anything like this. I mean, I really feel bad. I know that if I was in the States, I'd be dead because, well, it's just the way it is. But I wanted you to know what my personal story was with free healthcare system in Canada. It's fantastic. I don't pay for anything, and they look after me. So I hope that you get something even a tenth as good as what we have here, because it's fucking awesome. So thanks for listening, and have a good day. God bless. Bye-bye.